He's probably on his way up the stairs now. All right. So for M2, we are moving on from just the basics. So the basics was an introduction to the programming, an introduction to the chassis. Let me just see, somebody wants to come in. Okay. This is where we need. There we go. All right. So in M1, sorry. In M1, we did just the basics of building a chassis and the basics of programming for navigation. And then at the end, we did a passive attachment. So it's an attachment which is not controlled by motors. Okay. So in M2, it's going up a next level and we're doing form and function. So on the form side, we are adding to the structure of it. Okay, so on the form side, we are adding to the structure, and we are going to add gearing, and we're going to add powered attachments. And on the function, we've then added the sensors, so that your sensors can collect your data and that you use in your programming. So yesterday, Tumelo then showed you how. Tumelo, you good? Oh, there is. Okay, so Tumelo introduced the ultrasonic sensor and the touch sensor, and line follow, Tumelo? You're doing it today? Okay. All right. So are you going to start with the line follow? Okay. So Tumelo's going to do the line follow first. And then as soon as he's done the line follow, I'm going to introduce you to the gearing of a robot and using that in powered attachments. Whilst Tumelo is just setting up, I want to show you where to find your M2 on the new site. And I'm going to just share my screen so that you can understand where it is. I know there are quite a few who have asked where M2 is. On the new site, I would like to show you where it is. We have asked ICT to unhide it on the portal. So you should be able to find it. We will still be adding the last thing, so just bear with us, but it's there. And let me just let this person in. So I'm just going to show you. If you go, I'm just going to, hang on, give me 2 minutes. Mook.unisa. I'll share my screen now with you. That's it, eh? Here we go. I'm just trying to get onto the system, and then I'll show you where to find it and what it looks like. Okay, it's a whole new vision. It looks different, and you also need a new login details and a new user ID and password. And the good thing now is it also has a different portfolio. So there are only 4 attempts, 4 opportunities for you to then submit a portfolio. And let me just share my screen quickly, and then I can show you. So if you go into, I never know whoever's seeing whatever you see. All right. So if you go onto here, this is mook.unisa.ac.za, and then you will log in. You'll get a login at the top here, and then it'll come to this. And if you go to My Courses, you will be able to get, if I can hide this here, and Tumelo will give you a better, let's just see where this is coming. It's taking very long today. I don't know why these courses are taking so long. It would seem like there's far too many first-year students coming in on this portal. So just give me half a minute. And it's just taking forever. Tumelo, you ready? No. He's also circling. It's very slow. It's very, very slow. I'm not sure understanding what it's so slow about. Okay. All right. So this is what we're busy developing, but there's your M2 portal, and it looks like this. So you'll look up for M2 2025, and this is what it's going to look like. Most of the tabs have been implemented. We are still busy adding some content, and we should have it all QA'd by the end of the week. And then hopefully it'll be totally live by next Monday. But this is what it looks like, and whilst it's still busy upgrading. So there are your 4 opportunities to submit an M2 challenge. It will become available. There we go. All right. So there's the syllabus and the overview. There's your learning material folders. We have decided to split It used to be gearing and powered attachments together, and we've split that up. So 3 is gearing, and then the next one is powered attachments. There's your quizzes. You get 1 quiz for each learning unit. Obviously, a selection of questions from multiple pools, but there you go. They should be open by the 10th of March. There's your lesson plans. I think they've uploaded that already. I don't know. Yes, I have. I've already put the lesson plans in. You can use those. And if you want to help us or contribute to that, it will be just really awesome. And now this is going in this. It's just taking forever. I should not have clicked on that. And then, so that's it. That's what your new 2025 MOOC portal looks like. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and ask, are there any questions before Tumelo takes over? So let me just first ask, are there any questions about the M2 portal? Anybody? No. Okay. So you work through the, Tumelo, you ready? Okay, he's going to come online now. No, he's not ready. He's just going backwards and forwards. I'll just show you. He's sitting at the opposite side of the room there. Okay. Okay, I don't know what he's doing over there. All right. Tumelo, over to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining today's session. Much appreciated. The site on the MOOC portal seems to be working, so we'll also demonstrate that part as the session proceeds. Please note that if you do have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. Ask your question, right? Without wasting time, let me see whether will I be able to project here. Okay, it's a bit slow. Apologies on that. And then I'll also demonstrate on how one can enroll for the MOOC portal as well. All right, let me put this on. I want to see whether will I be able to share my screen. Okay, share.
You are visible.
All right, it is visible, but I'm trying to, perfect. Now open in desktop mode. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are still on Unit 2. The focus will be on color sensors. And like I said, I'll just explain more about how one can program as well as follow the line using the color sensor. Yesterday, the focus was on gyro sensor, which I can still be able to do.
Tumelo, your screen is stuck.
Is it visible now?
Open. It's not in slideshow mode.
Oh, on my side, it's showing a slideshow.
No. Try again.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect. Keep going.
All right. Now we'll be focusing on color sensor and color sensing, as well as the reflected light intensity, which is a value from 0 to 100. We'll detect the line as well as follow the line using amphibian light. Okay, so basically here it says that the single sensors, the sensors provide the input data. And remember yesterday when I explained that process, the input process as well as the output process, meaning that you need to connect your wire on the port into the color sensor. And then here it's great that it explains that to ensure that the correct data is captured, the sensor must be attached correctly to the robot as required to solve the problem. All right. Now there are multiple sensors on a single robot that one can use. But please note that the focus should be the purpose for which the sensors are attached. For example, you'll see that today the focus will be on color sensors who want to follow the line, which is what I'll be able to demonstrate just now. And the purpose for which the output data is required. Then this will be used to control the values for repetition and decision-making program, which is what I'll also touch on as well. So let me see. Okay. So about the color sensor. Color sensors, the purpose of the data measurement determines the type of measurements and the way that the measurements are used. Here we name the different light measurements that can be made with a color sensor. When is measurement of amphibian light required? That's when we answer such questions. And how does one calibrate the sensor to ensure that the reflected light intensity measurement is correctly measured? We'll also explain the purpose of proportional line follow. What is PID line follow? And there's a link there, which will be gladly be able to share that link with you on the chat. And how does one use multiple color sensors effectively? What is the best placement for a color sensor? There's a link there, as well as you can also use the Rally Rover building instructions for that. Remember yesterday I did talk about the flow control, saying that you need to look at the linear repetition and decision. But I did give you a hint saying that sometimes you might find some few tricky situations whereby you need to always do some trial and error as the programming progresses. So now here on Unit 2, the objectives are to attach a color sensor on a robot and program using specific tasks, e.g. find a line or follow a line, the need for the color. Now, without wasting time, let me share my camera. I'm in the site of the Science Center, as well as our spotlight for everyone to see, as well as share my screen. Please confirm whether can you see my screen?
Yep, we can see it. There we go.
So now, looking at this mat here, and looking also at the robot, remember, as I did explain on the presentation, that you need to ensure that you insert the color sensor in a correct way. So looking here, I ensured that I used the basic instructions or basic building instructions from the Riley Rover, which was pointing the color sensor down next to the tires in the front. And then the gyro sensor was here on the side, which is what I was testing. That's where also you can also place your touch sensor as well. So you'll see where there is a color sensor. That's where also you can find, or you can also place your gyro sensors. So I'm just gonna see whether will it follow the line based on that. You'll see that yes, it is working. It's following the line based on the program that you're seeing. So I'll just follow it as we can see. So I'm currently sharing two screens. One screen is the camera showing the robot following the line, and the other screen is showing the program of how I've programmed the robot there. Now you can see also it has lost it there, which is something that we need to pay attention to and also fix. All right. So there you go. So feel free also to share your program of how you have programmed it to follow the line sensor as well, so that we see how one can program it using different functions to it. All right. I think while Dr. Hoos is presenting, I'll also attach an ultrasonic sensor, because yesterday I was not happy the way the ultrasonic sensor was done. I think I'll hand over this part to you, Dr. Hoos, so that you can focus on the other area.
You're so kind, Tamara. Thank you. There we go. All right. Right here from the UNISA Science Engagement Center in Florida. Yay. All right. Excellent. All right. So that was the fun and games with the sensors. I think what's really important is that it needs practice. Tumelo was saying the ultrasonic wasn't working so lucky yesterday. But you need to practice with it. You need to understand it. And so if I can just ask, if your learners can understand the touch sensor first, the ultrasonic sensor second, and then the color sensor, just those three sensors. Please, the gyro sensor is next level. You can tell them about it, but please keep it kind of for later. Just focus first on those three sensors. It does help that the learners totally understand what they're doing. Okay. All right. So we're going to park the, let me just quickly, Tumelo, I'm just going to mute you quickly. So what we're going to do now is, so we're just going to park the sensors now. Tumelo's busy with the sensors over there. I'm going to move on now to unit 3 of this, which is called gearing. And so too often the gears are just in the box and nothing happens with them. Nothing gets done with them. But actually, in terms of your form, it does contribute to a more precise movement of your robots. Okay, so I'm going to give you a brief introduction of gears and then how gears are used in building your powered attachments. Let me just quickly, there we go. Okay, I'm going to ask Tumelo whether you can see my screen. Yes. Okay, it's giving me the thumbs up. All right, so here we're going to go on to gearing. So really what I would ask when you do gear models is to build the gears. Build the gear models so your learners understand what the concept is and where the robots fit in. There's a really cool video on the wonder of mechanics of gears. And I think if we had a little bit more time, maybe I must just show you this at the end, of how gears all fit together and how really amazing structures can be built just with the gears. All right, so gears are used in structures. The structure is determined by the function, and you obviously have different types of gears. So if you want to transmit movement along a line, you'll use a spur gear. If you are doing from a rotation to a linear, so if something is turning and something is going out on, so that's the rack and pinion. And then if you want to transfer movement, the bevel gears are at 90 degrees. So if this is rotating, then it meshes like that at 90 degrees with another gear. And so where the mesh happens, that is where the motion is transferred. So it becomes a 90-degree transition for those motions. All right, this is your rack and pinion, for example. So the pinion goes round and then the rack goes left and right. Okay, so that's the circular, and then the rack is the linear one of that. Okay. And it's the gear is the machine part that rotates. It has teeth and they mesh together, so that it must mesh together. And why we use gears in robots? Because it changes speed, torque, and direction of power. Okay. Gears are one of those things you just start using them, and as you move along, it's important that you start. Okay. And to ignore gears is also not really okay. So we usually use the spur gears. I mean, that's the easiest one to do. But there's a we call them, the knob gears look like little taps, and you'll see that's in one of the attachments. It makes the best kind of meshing. It's easiest. But the worm gear also, just on the models, I would really suggest that you make rigid structures so that the meshing doesn't become unloose or loosen, especially for on the Riley Rover for that gripper. That is not a very reliable meshing that you get there. There are a lot of gears and a lot of things that are available. Okay, so let's take the normal spur gear. You always have one that's connected to the power, and so that's the driver, and then the other one is the driven, and in between it, then you've got the idle gear. So the first, in this case, if you look at the diagram, if the first gear goes this way, then the third gear will also go that way, and then the middle one will obviously go in the opposite direction. That is just how it is, and you can explain it, but why don't you let the students explore it and let them build these train gears and see in what direction they move. Okay. The same as with the rack and pinion. It goes forward, it goes backwards, and if you attach it to a motor which turns, And then you watch the rack and pinion move up and down. And it's to build expertise and to have a frame of reference for these gears. So the rack will then move left to right, you know, with the gear turning. And then when the pinion rotates, the rack moves left and right. Yes. I was going to say, I'm getting myself confused. All right. But the axle is always attached to a motor. And so whilst you build these models, build them and connect them to ports, connect them to motors, and then see how they actually work. All right. Obviously, there are a lot of extra resources for gearing. There's a really cool one on Builder Dude 35 on dog gears, and that has become one of those structures. I must remember to bring my robot tomorrow. Dog gears are really an important structure where you have powered attachments that attach and detach from your robot that you can be used. Okay. Spur gears are the ones that just mesh along. Bevel gears are the ones on the thing. Also to show your students these videos and say, identify which type of gearing is used. Okay. And then I just added some specialty gears and some claws. And so in theory, that is then the end of the power, the gearing. All right. Please build the models, put the models together, and then make them work so that learners understand the impact of the gearing. I can actually talk a whole day about gearing, but I think it's important that you just first identify the gears that are in the box. And from that, you can see where you're going to from there. Okay. I'm going to look at Tumelo. Do you want to do that more sensors, or can I carry on with powered attachments? What? Must I do more? Okay, Tumelo's got a ultrasonic sensor working, and he would love to share it with you. So Tumelo, over to you. You've got to share your screen first. You've got to unmute yourself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is me. Okay, so this is the ultrasonic sensor. So the way I've programmed it here, I said, okay, let me just share also the screen here. Perfect. When the program starts, I set my movement motors B and C, and then I've included the forever loop, as well as I put 2 wait until, and then I said start moving straight. So my robot needs to just move straight, and then it needs to wait until the distance is less than 15 centimeters. And it has to stop and wait for 0.2 seconds. Then it turns to the left using the left motor, which is connected on port C. So let's see whether will this work. All right. Here, yes. So the nice thing is that today I'm here on the center. It is great for me to be showing. It's perfect.
Your robot is frozen. We can't see it. Oh dear. Oh dear, the robot is behaving. I must just tell you that.
The robot is
behaving. It is behaving.
all right. The network seems to be a bit funny on the site.
You okay?
Oh.
There we go. It's looking better. Well done. All over South Africa. I think it's down there. The network is not good. All right. Thank you, Tumelo. There we go. All right. So that is Tumelo and his robot with the ultrasonic. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, we got a really good a mixture of entertainment for today with advertisements in between as well. And here in the Science Center, we have Sylvia with us as well. We've just survived 60 learners visiting at our Science Center and gearing up for the next workshop tomorrow. All right, so that was then gearing. And I'm really encouraging you to find geared models and to build the models and then to make them. The EV3 Ideas book, I think I've advertised it previously. That is really a really cool models, different gearing models that you can use. So any powered attachment that has gearing in it, that can be used. Okay, as models, and we will also share that in our resources documents, which Alma and I are busy putting together. We'll share that with you as well. Excellent. All right, so let me come to the last part of today's presentation, and that's about powered attachments. And powered attachments is where we use the motors not only to navigate the robot forward, but also to control the arms or whatever attachment, the powered attachments, hence powered attachments. And so let me share my screen. Obviously, it has to be connected to some power, so a motor. And then it has to be programmed for effect. All right, so I'm going to share, and Tumelo's going to tell me that my screen is visible. There we go. Okay. All right, so this is now where we come to the application of gearing as well as making attachments which can be programmed. So not just a passive attachment, but a powered attachment. All right. You will see when you do your when you build it like a Riley rover, there is the gripper attachment, and then there's also the cargo loader. And in the driving base, you'll see there's an arm that goes up and down. Okay, that is controlled by your programming. Okay. So we've got powered attachments, but what are powered attachments? They always are attachments to a robot that are attached to a motor. And you can use gears, but it requires programming to function specifically. So you'll need to program it for the arm to go open and closed. You need to program it to lift up and to lift down. You need to program it to go down and go up. You need to program it to, I don't know, like hit or something. There needs to be programming involved for it to function. Okay. Powered attachments. Where can they be attached on the robot? Well, they're attached where they need it. So if you have a front attachment, obviously you're going to be lifted. You can have a power attachment on top or at the back, wherever they need it. That's where you attach them. All right. Now, when you attach a robot, when you attach a powered attachment to a robot, you have to have two levels of attachment. The one is the structure needs to be connected, and we usually use connector pins for that. But there also needs to be a wire for the function. So it needs to go into one of your ports. Now in the EV3, it is an output port. So it's got to be, so we usually use the arm as in port A or D, and then we keep B and C for the wheels. But in a Spike Prime robot, yeah, you just attach it. Okay, it's one of those things. All right. So just as an example here, we have got, that is your Riley rover from the EV3. And so that would be then the gripper that closes, open and closes. And you'd see there is a worm gear and it's meshed with spur gears. And this is your cargo loader, which lifts up and down. And your cargo loader has then got knob gears. All right. And again, when we come back to attachments, we come back to the verbs. So remember I said right in the beginning, for passive attachments, it's what is the verb? To drop, to push, to plow, to collect. That is your verb. So again, for powered attachments, is it we're going to grab, are we lifting, are we pushing? What is the verb? And you can get powered attachments that are multi-purpose. So on the, if you can program it to lift, the same one you can program it to drop. Okay, same attachment. You can program it to grab. You can put something in there and program it to release. Same thing. Okay, and the attachments that lift, yeah, if you carry, you can drop it as well. Sorry, there's somebody's microphone unmuted. Okay. Sorted? Okay. So here is the arm. If we're going to go up and down, you see there, there's the motor. It's attached with a 2-axle to the motor, the knob gear. And then this knob gear is meshed to it at 90 degrees, almost like a bevel gear. And so that one turns. So if you turn like that, as you're turning, this one is going the other way and it's lifting it up or lifting or bringing it down. Okay. So there's the knob gears. The arm can move down to the ground and up towards the robot. It's exactly the same. Okay, so here's the gripper. Again, there's the worm gear. It's attached to with a 2-axle or maybe 3-axle, maybe a 3-axle to the motor. Just one thing, if it's not working, I guarantee you that this piece, this attachment piece here, your learners have turned it the wrong way around. Okay, so just make sure that your axle here can turn. Otherwise, your worm gear is not going to turn, no matter how much power you put onto that motor. So that is one of the things that we've picked up. Now, for me, this is a very flimsy arm, and it's like really, you've got to calculate it very closely to come together and go out. Yeah, so it doesn't make for a very sturdy gripper, and it leaves lots to be desired. I would first and foremost put it into a frame that could kind of hold the meshing together, but that's also part of it. Just on the FYI, I would please appreciate if you can do all your gearing control when you program it, control it by time rather than rotations. Please put it onto time. Yes, it's not like it's mandatory, but for the learners who don't understand the principle of measuring and accuracy, please put it onto time, because time passes and then your robot will continue. However, if you've got it on 3 rotations and your arm cannot move into 3 rotations, your robot is going to stop, and then you're going to lose those points. So I would say close it on time. If it's 2 seconds, time will pass, and then your robot arm will release. Okay, so there's the meshing. It's into 2 spur gears and then attached to the arms, and then the arms go open and closed. All right, so when you build a power attachment, please attach that whole thing to the robot, okay? And then you've actually got to program the functioning of your powered attachment, okay? Please don't use rotations. If you want to rotate the powered attachment, control it by time, please. Please, please, please. Okay, so this is, I wanted to include this, and I need to finish typing. So very often when it comes to competitions, the learners think that they can't do something. I'm asking you to take what is known, and which is why I'm promoting building a frame of reference. So take what is known and then you adapt it, okay? And so here are 2 Mr. Hino videos. So you can do almost all the missions on the, I think that 2018 was into orbit, I think. He could do all, just by adapting that cargo loader arm, just by adapting that, you can actually do all the missions. All right. You have got the basics. You need to be able to adapt it. That's where the innovation comes in. Yes, it's awesome to build these amazing powered attachments, but start and master first what you have. All right. And there's always to try additional items when you evaluate the efficiency of your robot. Okay. Always, always, always use what you've got, and then you move forward. All right. Oh, there we go. Oh, so did I not? So the book that I have been talking to you about is the Winning Design. And my favorite shop is the nostart.com. They've got some really cool EV3 books. I'm not sure about the Spike program. I'll have a look. I'll go shopping. I'll let you know tomorrow. Okay. All right. And that's the end of the presentation. But please do build the attachments and then put them onto your robot to see how they work and understand how they work first and foremost. Okay. Are there any questions before? Tumelo, are you ready to take over? Okay. Are there any questions first on gearing and on powered attachments?
Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to ask your questions regarding today's presentation. You can either raise your hand or write on the chat box, and then we'll. All right. Let me share my screen while you are still thinking about that.
Oh, you
remember yesterday?
There we go. Perfect. There we go. Thank you, Tumelo.
Remember yesterday, I did indicate that we shall await for our ICT team to ensure that the portal is up and running. So now, as I've explained, what one needs to do is to go to the Google tab. Once you're on your Google tab, you are going to type MOOC UNISA. Once you type MOOC UNISA, it will redirect you to a home page. Let me just see whether it will be able like this. Yes. So it will be like MOOC UNISA. Please make sure that at least you take the screen grabs or the screenshots of me doing these steps. All right. So once you've typed MOOC UNISA on your Google tab, the first one that says Home UOL UNISA, you click on it. After clicking on it, this will be the home page. The home page will look like this. Please note that the MOOCs are the massive open online courses. And the fun thing or the great thing about these courses, they are free of charge. They do not require you to have a UNISA student number. They do not require you to have a previous qualification or experience. So these courses are free of charge and the site is 0 rated. All right. Now you need to carefully look at my cursor. So you'll see there where it says UNISA home as well as login. You're going to click on login. Once you click on login, you'll get a pop-up screen that says, are you a registered UNISA student or a staff member? You will click on no. Once you click no and you scroll down, here it will ask you, is this your first time here? You will click on create new account. Once you've clicked on create new account, you are going to create your own username or put in your email address. It is preferred that you put in your username. For example, if your name is Tumelo, you just say Tumelo123, and then you create a password, put in your email address, you verify your email address, put in your first name, last name, city, as well as the country. But before you click on create my new account, please ensure that you have captured all the details, perhaps on your phone, or you have written it down somewhere, so that you will be able to remember these. And then once you've clicked on create my new account, you will get a notification or a pop-up screen saying that please verify your email address. Once you have verified your email address, it will say to you that it will redirect you again here to this homepage. And then once it has redirected you here, you will have to put in your username and your password. So let me just quickly wait and see whether will this be on my side because it's taking a bit of time. Yes. So now let's assume that you've created your username and your password. This will be after you have created your new account, you have verified your email address, then you just simply come here, put in your username, your password, then you click on login. Once you're done, this will be your homepage, right? But your homepage will introduce you with a greeting. You'll just have a nice greeting there. Let's have a look at my screen and see. Once it's there, what you do, you go to the home tab. You click on the home tab. And for those that are using a cell phone, you just click on the 3 buttons on top. Oh, I see now it didn't log in. Let me do it again. All right, let me put in my username and password. Yeah, it's a bit slow for now, but it's working. I hope everyone is on the same page as me. We are doing the same so that we are able to see what the contents are, which is something that we have to share with you today. All right. It's a bit slow on my side. Let's see how it is here. So you would have created your account, put in your username, your password, you click on login. Once you've clicked on login, it will take you to the let me see if I try this site. Yes. All right. Or perhaps let me try using Chrome and see whether will it be a bit quick and will it work as well. In the meantime, please don't hesitate to raise your hand or perhaps write in the chat box. You see it's still loading. It's a bit slow. So I'm opening it on a different tab as well, or a different browser to see whether is this the same issue. So I'm using Chrome on the other side. Yes. So now it will say hi Tumelo, which will greet you. That will be your home page. So what you do, you are going to click on the home tab. Once you click on the home tab, you need to scroll down and check out the available courses. All right. All right, just kick me out now. Let me retry it for the last time. Okay. All right. So once you have logged in there, you will have to click on the home tab or the three buttons or the three lines that you will see as you are using your phone, or you're going to go to my courses, then you scroll down and you'll see where it says available courses. So I'm just waiting for this to pick up the speed. It's a bit slow. Apologies for that. Okay. So you can see the welcome page takes us to the dashboard. I'll click on my courses. After clicking my courses, it will show me the available courses that are there. And then on your side, you will have to scroll down and see the available courses that we have on the MOOC portal. And then for the purposes of this, you will click on iCert Robotics M1 2025. Once you click that, you'll scroll down. There we go, my courses. So this will show some few available courses that are available. So I just want to go to the contents part of things so that I can explain for those of you who might have some few questions. I hope while I'm here,
Okay, we seem to have lost Tamela on the. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
back now.
There we go. Okay, thanks, Tamela.
All right, so these are the available courses. So we'll focus on ISET Robotics M1, and M2 has been enabled for us to join as well. Let me click on ISET Robotics M1 so that I can explain a few things that you would like to see. Okie dokes, there we go. Now let me just wait for the left tab to clear up so that I can explain further. So this is ISET Robotics M1 2025, which is a free course. It has been opened since February and will be closed in March. And I'll just give you some brief overview of what to expect here. You'll see that there's a general tab, there's an announcement tab, M1 discussion, M1 assignment challenge. So I'm glad now the site is available. Sorry for the delay. Looking on the left-hand side underneath the UNISA logo, there is
Losing you. Lost you. Oh my goodness.
I'm back now.
There we go. Okay. There we go.
Now, looking there on the general tab, there's where it says M1 assignment challenge. So this has to be done after you have completed your Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, as well as Unit 4 multiple choice questions. And these multiple choice questions are 15 of them, and you have to attain more than 50% for all of them in order for you to qualify to do the M1 challenge. All right. So now looking at the dates there, it says option 1 to 4, and there are different dates. So please note that, let's say, for example, you managed to complete Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, as well as Unit 4, and you attained more than 50%. You have an option of doing M1 assignment challenge, which has been opened since the 24th up until the 2nd of March. So this one, option 1, has been closed. So you have an option of doing option 2, 3, or 4. So you do not have to do all the options. You can select any of the options that you see suitable for you to do. All right. Once you are done on that part, you will get a confirmation of completion generated on your portal. But just to expand more before we go to the M1 challenge, I'm going to encourage you to just look into the site just to familiarize yourself with the contents of this. You would have noticed that yesterday we started off with the sensors, and today we went on to the powered attachment. So most of the things that we have touched in the live online learning session are basically part of the quizzes that will be asked here. As well as last month, you would have noticed that we were focusing more on the passive attachments, which is also part of the quizzes as well. So it is encouraged for you to join these sessions. And the nice thing is that we also have M1 online activities. Here on the activities, we have resources for educators or those that are in grade R to 3. There's some few information for you that you can pursue as well. So once you click there, there's a folder, and in the folder, there's some few information for you to pursue. I think I'm able to take questions. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself. Feel free to raise your hand. The website, yes, it is slow once you log in, but it is functional. There we go. Yes, Mr. Vincent. Yesterday we did talk, and you said that you have your teachers on board. Are your teachers, were your teachers following the steps as I was explaining?
Yes, hello Tumelo, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. I also managed to get a PDF showing the instructions on how to join the site, and I shared it with them. I think most, if they followed that guideline, because I also managed to register yesterday. So
All right.
my question is on like us who are based in Polokwane. Do you have a center around Polokwane where we can do the practical part?
Dr. Host, can you assist on that one?
Hi. So we have in Polokwane, we do have some science centers who already got robotic sets. I can talk to them specifically where in Polokwane, in the town of Polokwane.
Yes, in the town of Polokwane.
Are there none? Are you at schools?
Yeah, the district office is in Polokwane, so that's the nearest where most of the educators can get to.
Okay. And are all the educators at government schools?
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask that you just send me an email just to remind me? I will ask the science centers there. I know at the University of Limpopo, there is a science center that has equipment. Let me just see, but I just need to confirm with them before I send you all to the science center and you overwhelm them. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me just talk to her first. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excellent. Exciting.
All right. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen, regarding the Lab Online learning session or the MOOC portal? I see we don't have any comments or any hands, and it's 4 o'clock. It is safe for us to close the session, Dr. Host.
It's been an awesome session today.
All right.
Just want to, anybody else? Any other last questions? Anybody else? Oh, wow.
Yeah, let me check also like
Okay.
information on relating to, suppose we try to procure the kits.
Mhm.
Can you share the information in terms of how much does it cost? Because I see for different phases there are different kits.
Yes.
So
I would say send me an email. Send me an email, and then I will send you gladly send you all the information. Okay.
okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there another hand up there? Ntokozo? Is there another hand?
Oh, it's the same one.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, okay.
Good afternoon. I'm trying to select the courses, but on my side, it doesn't show which courses because when I previously registered, we registered all the courses for 2024. And I had already done some of the quizzes on the 2024 part. So now I only realized that we were supposed to register for the 2025 one.
Yeah. So the 2024 portal is being discontinued,
Okay.
unfortunately.
So
But
can
now
I
I
take
see
this
that-
one, Dr. Host?
Okay.
Yes.
Ogozo.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
So type MOOC UNISA. Once you're there, once you've clicked MOOC UNISA, the first tab that you will see, it's written Home UOL UNISA. Once you click on Home UOL UNISA, This will be your home page that you come across, all right? I understand that, yes, last year you were registered for the ICT Robotics M1 2024, but unfortunately we have been migrated from that old site to this new site.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So once you come on this site and you follow all the steps that I did indicate, you click on login. After clicking on login, there will be a pop-up screen that says, are you a UNISA student or staff? Once you click on no, there's an option for you to create a new account. You create a new username. So you will have to do that because this is a new site. It's not the same site as the previous one. And the contents here are different and are new. So once you have done that, you get a verification email asking you to verify your email address. Once you have done so, you will have to log in using your username and your password. Once you are done, you will log in. Once you have logged in, you are going to click on the home tab. After clicking on the home tab, you will scroll down as you can see on my screen. Can you see there it says available courses?
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
you will scroll down looking for the available courses that the UNISA offers, but specifically the ICT Robotics M1 2025, which is at the end. Can you see there it is here?
I can see, but my site is very slow, so I think I'll manage.
Yes, yes. So the site rates and some few technical glitches. So it's better than yesterday, but it is functional.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I think that was it. Thank you so much. On behalf of UNISA Science Engagement Center, would like to say thank you so much for asking questions. Thank you so much for joining the session. Thank you so much for watching the recording. Without wasting time, I'll hand over to Dr. Rose to conclude.
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to do some applications and we're applying what we've now learned in M2. So how do we use decision making? How do we use looping? How do we use sensor data? How do we use gearing? And how do we use passive attachment? So we'll be presenting a whole lot of examples and hopefully we'll have some good discussions, not just a one-way, but an interactive session where you can look at applications and see how that fits into what we've been discussing yesterday and today. All right. Stay well, everybody. Have a peaceful evening. It's just after 4. And thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you soon. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Let's get the practicals done. Cool. Thanks, Tumelo. Ta-ta. It's been good. Thank you.